Hi, it's V, your fear of flying hypnotherapist. Again, a client story. So apologies if I do look down a little bit. It's just so I get the wording right. Because the words that we actually say, our subconscious mind is always listening. They matter. And they matter to how we interpret those words in our own mind. Sometimes they don't even make sense to other people. So this wonderful gentleman who came to me around claustrophobia because it was festering in the back of his mind. That was his sentence, festering in the back of his mind. And also, what if something bad was to happen? That I hear a lot when it comes to fear of flying. What if something bad was about to happen, and it takes all over my body? I feel out of control. I feel that I'm trapped. I feel a tightness on my chest. I hear that a lot as well. Trapped and tight in the chest. Panic, uncomfortable, like I can't breathe, the heart's racing. And then because I'm preparing myself ready for this, the what ifs, the catastrophizing starts. But because a lot of people are logical, analytical minded, and they want to prepare for the worst that could happen, they plan. That actually makes them feel safe. So that's where you get a 50-50 person who will actually fly but still be terrified. We've got the other portion of people who won't even get on board an aircraft at all, and they spend years of their life wasting not flying at all. The longest client has actually been 52 years with me, and she's flown twice now to New Zealand, believe it or not, from the UK. So an awful long flight, twice on her own as well. What an incredible achievement. So we've got those 50-50 people who will plan ahead because they expect to feel a certain way, and what you tend to present to your mind will present right back to you, and it will tend to give you what you want. And what you really, really want is to be safe and feel safe. So you do this planning aspect of it, but you don't like that feeling of feeling tight in your chest, but you don't like the feeling of feeling tight on board. It's that wanting to come and go as you please. You don't want to be a burden to others as well, and that's why you plan so far ahead, because it gives you that inner freedom till it gets closer and closer and closer, and before you know it, it's a month away, it's 3 weeks away, it's a week away, it's a day away, it's an hour away, and that's when the panic tends to set in. And normally this feeling comes from a prior situation that isn't actually true anymore, and certainly not your story anymore, that you keep telling yourself. It's an overthinking, but subconsciously. Remember, he used to say, festering at the back of my mind. Too right it was, because he remembers feeling the same in an MRI, in an elevator, on an amusement park as well. Because it's that feeling again where you can't get up, you can't escape, you can't get out. You literally go from calm to panic in zero, literally instantly. And you're jumpy and fidgety. So these are all these words, and I'm hoping that they actually kind of make a difference to how you're feeling as well, because you don't feel alone anymore. Now, growing up as a child, this gentleman, his mum and dad was certainly hard on them, saying things about, are you sure that's really what you want to do? Oh my goodness, I've heard that off my own parents as well. But it's not their fault. They don't mean to say these sentences to us. We just subconsciously latch onto them. And then because through different situations, different stories, different overthinkings that happen throughout our life, they gain momentum. So I'll say that sentence again to you. Are you sure that's what you want to do? And that really messages the what if. You start to catastrophize. You can start to go, let's go back to the first page again. What if something bad was to happen? It's festering in the back of my mind. So again, straight away, by saying that sentence, and I've had this with my own parents where they've said very similar, if not that exact sentence, you start to feel trapped. You're holding back. You're really holding back in what you actually want to do, because you're thinking, is it really what I want to do? Can I really do this? And you start to doubt yourself. You don't feel like you're not good enough, like you need to feel a tight, trapped chest everywhere you go, because that's how you've always felt in those instances. So again, what we did with this is what I do in my type of therapy. It's a blended type of therapy. I get to the root cause of why you fear flying, and believe me, a lot of the time it comes down to nothing to do with the plane. Again, this is another one, nothing to do with the plane, because when the tears roll, they come from here, not here. They roll and they roll and they roll, and it's all about letting go. Letting go of that sentence, are you sure that's what you want to do? And of course, as soon as you start to let go, you can't stop it. And there's a reason for that, because it's took years to actually gain momentum, to build up inside of you, to give you that tight, trapped sensation in your chest where your heart is racing and your breathing is really shallow and rapid. It's taken time, so it may take a bit of time to actually let go of that feeling as well. So this session, I think, was around 3.5 hours, possibly even pushing 4. And the time difference was a USA as well, so 7-hour time difference for us. But this gentleman needed to cry, and as soon as he cried, as much as he needed to, when he opened up his eyes, he just went, there's a weight being lifted off my shoulders. I feel like for years somebody's been flicking at my nervous system, and I've constantly gone from calm to panic in a second, in a blink of an eyelid, literally full-blown panic. And it's always started in my chest, it's gone into my stomach, and then all of a sudden it's all over my body. And all he really wanted was not his mum and dad to say, are you sure this is what you want to do? He just wanted them to say, I just want you to love me. I just wanted them to love me for who I was, an incredible sporty young man. But that's not what I felt. And those words I latched onto. So the pressure of being absent, but also present as well, because he was always 50-50, wanting to plan for the worst might happen, but also when the worst didn't happen, then that planning was also wasted. So the whole of his life he's been in 50-50, can I do this? Can I actually fly or can't I fly? And that's actually made him feel quite sad and lonely. So again, that's another, what I call it, a subconscious knot, where we have to untie that feeling of feeling sad and lonely. So if this is resonating with you right now, I want you to be rest assured you are not sad and lonely. I know this time of year as well, where we have the changes of the clocks, especially in the UK. So there's super dark nights, and people get that sad syndrome where it envelopes them because of the darkness. You're not. There's other people out there feeling exactly the same, and by them feeling exactly the same, that actually makes you a light, doesn't it? So you're not lonely, you're not alone, and nor should you feel sad or lonely as well. So that feeling of feeling trapped, indecisiveness, fidgety, 50-50, she's there. Now he's decided to plan a vacation. I'm waiting for that plane selfie, because I know a lot of my fear of flyers, which is my specialism, being an ex-flight supervisor from 1996 to 2009. So I covered the era of 9/11, when aviation changed such a lot as well. I'm waiting for that plane selfie. I'm waiting to see, because I get them to screenshot to prove they booked the holiday and the flight as well, because it's now for them not to stay stuck on the fence. It's now for them to uplift their own wings, have that flying confidence so they can fly in daily life, not just on board an aircraft.